The archaeological dig through layers of family, history, and drama eventually brings most of us to the rawest part of that land, beneath autobiography, beneath recriminations and emotional residue. It brings us to words unsaid, dreams we never shared, questions we kept to ourselves. That's where I ended up. It brought me to this letter. I imagine sometimes talking to both of you now, and, Dad, if your faith is accurate and death is just a relocation and not an end, maybe this letter will reach you. My wish is that the idea of a soul, a spirit, still having awareness of a life once lived, is true. You used to tell me about sitting at your own father's funeral when you were 30 years old and suddenly feeling his hand on your earlobe, stroking it as he did when you were a boy. So perhaps my words will travel across dimensions and reach both of you. My hope is, also, that this can be a balm of comfort for others as they come to terms with parents and families that have left them searching for answers. Maybe it will provide some comfort. There is a clarifying truth that emerges as we get older. If we don't examine our history and make peace with it, it will become our destiny. There is another street I visit, not too far away. It's where we lived when it was just the three of us, for the first few years of my life before Ron was born. That house has been torn down too, and replaced by a mansion, but for many years it remained as it was when I was a child. The olive tree that you planted, Dad, right in front, had grown large and full. A few years after you died, Mom got a message from the owner of the house asking if she wanted to visit it, because it was going to be sold and inevitably torn down. I met her there, and we walked past the sturdy branches of the olive tree into the house that echoed with memories. As we walked down the hallway toward what was once my bedroom, I suddenly remembered sitting on the floor in the hall beside the heating vent, letting warm air envelop me while rain fell hard outside. I remembered my bed in the corner by the window where I would stand up and watch the two of you go out in the evening for dinner. Penny, my nanny, would lean in behind me so I wouldn't topple over. There was a small bar area in the living room. Somewhere in my memory I could hear the clinking of ice cubes in cocktail glasses and the tangle of grown-up voices and laughter. At one point, I excused myself from the house tour and went out into the backyard because I felt tears rising up in me. That yard was where I used to play in a sandbox, where I'd sweep back and forth toward an azure sky on a swing set. I didn't know if I actually recalled all of that, or if the images were imprinted from photos and home movies. But I did know why I was crying. I think we were happy then in that house, in those years. I don't know why it all changed. Dad, when you were in your 80s, you said to me, "You've called our family dysfunctional, but we were happy, Patti. Just look at our home movies." I couldn't really accept that home movies and photographs told the story of our family. The tensions and distance had made too much of an impact. Then one day, after you had slipped far away into the uncharted world of Alzheimer's, I pulled out our home movies again. I realized they are part of our story too. I've watched this footage often, trying to unearth memories of what I'm seeing, but in much of these films I was so young. I have snapshot images, but very few solid memories were formed in those early years. So, like a stranger, I study the scenes of 1950s bliss, the happy couple with their new pudgy baby, carrying her around the yard, cooing at her in her stroller. I focus mostly on you, Mom, because Dad was the one operating the Super 8 camera. I look at the warmth in your eyes. I look at how lovingly you hold me and wrap your arms around me. I wish I could remember how your arms felt. By the time complete memories were being formed, I was frightened of you, and it seemed like you had lost the desire to embrace me. You wrote in your memoir that I was a difficult baby, that I